Come on! Away! Away!
He's the Lakeland sheep farmer who became something of a Twitter sensation, posting pictures of his beloved Herdwick flock in fair weather and foul.
I'm first and foremost a shepherd, and I take my sheep breeding really seriously.
But these days, James Rebanks is a man with a mission. His new book, English Pastoral, is part love letter to his farm, part manifesto for a greener, less intensive approach to agriculture, with more emphasis on local produce.
I think it's good to have food produced locally to us because we can see it. We can see it, we can judge it, we can comment on it, and we can have more influence over the way things are done.
It would be cheaper to get it from New Zealand though, wouldn't it?
There's more to life than cheap, Rory. You should know that. There's cheaper ways to do media than the BBC.
That's me told, and around the farm he showed me what he was doing to practice what he preaches. First, diversifying. The cows are a recent addition to the farm, after years of just focusing on sheep.
It was sort of regarded by everybody as progress that you were stripping down to something, specialising in one thing. And now we know that wasn't particularly good for nature, and it hasn't been particularly good for our bank accounts in many ways. So we're going back to a mix of animals.
A couple of free-range pigs have also joined the farm.
On our farm, we're just trying to get back to the old model where there's a few pigs, there's a few cattle, there's the sheep, and then, have a good diversified business model.
They're a hit with his son Isaac, but he knows where they're heading.
Can I ask you a difficult question, Isaac? Do you like bacon?
Yes.
And you know that these pigs will end up as bacon?
Yes.
This isn't just sort of nostalgia or a bit of lifestyle choice fun. This is actually about putting back a farm to what it really can be, to drive as much nature, as much biodiversity as we can.
James Rebanks has been consulting environmentalists about planting trees and setting aside grazing pasture for wildflowers as he tries to make his land healthier.
It's an amazing time to be a farmer. We can just take these messages from the environmentalists on the chin, we can listen very carefully to the things they know that we don't, and we can rise to lots of these challenges. I just think we need the British public to believe in us and back us and support us. Nature's telling us that if we give it a chance, it comes back really quickly.
He argues much of the damage to the landscape is the result of farmers imitating American intensive methods. And he has one great fear, a trade deal with the US that gives free access to their farm produce.
If we sign on the dotted line of this American free trade deal which is being proposed, we're going to put all of these damaging systems into hyperdrive. We're going to do the greatest act of vandalism against the British countryside that there's been for many, many decades.
But for the most part, James Rebanks is an optimist. He believes family farms like his are showing us there is a better way of feeding ourselves without damaging the landscape. Rory Cellan-Jones, BBC News, Matterdale in Cumbria.